Shalom, Miss Parker. I am about to do some yard work, and I don't know. I wanted to come on live, and I don't know. I did this a long time ago. I actually went live while I was doing yard work a long, long time ago, so I decided to do it again. I'm just going to talk about some things that's on my ruach. My bad, y'all. Put on my gloves, and I hope you guys can hear me. But I don't know. I was looking at the live yesterday, and you know, I was I don't know that I was thinking about that AI critic, harassing, and I was talking to Yahuwah and about just certain things that just don't make no sense, and I just feel like people, not even people. Let me reword that. Yahuwah is allowing people to blind themselves. We learned that last night in our study. Now, I woke up early, and when I looked at my DMs, that same person who harassed us last night left me a Harry Potter novel in the DMs, and I got like a glimpse at it. And the only thing I needed to see, I saw this person say, "It doesn't matter how much AI can help." I was like, "Wait, what?" As soon as I saw, so let me make sure I'm clear on this. This person sends me, after harassing us last night, in my DMs, sent me a long Harry Potter novel. I didn't read it. I don't read Harry Potter novels. Not in the comments, not in the threads. Well, unless I see somebody going through something, it's like they're asking like a question or maybe talking about like a testimony. That's a little different. And someone's trying to educate and just got that authority, and I can tell that they're operating in their emotions. I'm not reading no Harry Potter novels. And then in the middle of this Harry Potter novel, I'm realizing, like, wait a minute. You just said it doesn't matter if Yahuwah gets some esteem. It's pretty much what she was saying. If it's AI, it's a problem. I just saw a little bit of that. I'm paraphrasing it. I don't want to put 100% words in her mouth, but that's what I saw. And that, I couldn't help but think, like, Yahuwah, does she even know what she's saying? She pretty much says she don't care if people hears your name. And you're saying in end times, people are going to see your name. They're going to know your name. And it's happening in real time. And I couldn't help but think, the emotions, man, the emotional charge of these people, like, you only truly see yourself. You pretty much said, forget about your creator actually getting his name out like he said he would. That means nothing to you. That part just really catches my attention. Sorry, y'all, hold on a second. I'll try to do this like this. I got a wheelbarrow. Y'all be... Woo! Oh, hold on. I gotta get a good grip on the phone so it won't slip out my hand. So that caught my attention. I'm thinking, like, you don't even care if your creator gets esteem. AI scares you that much to where you ignore all of his word, and you're selecting what you want to focus on, or selecting what you want to hear. And then I'm asking Yahuwah about this, and it was almost like he reminded me, like, you just studied Second Thessalonians. Just because, why is there a dog in our backyard? We don't have a dog. Interesting. There's a dog been in our yard. How did they get in here? Picking up the garden hose, or garden hoe. And it just doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense. I'll take care of this later. That right there. All right. And Yahuwah made me think about what we studied last night. If a person wants to be in their own emotions, their own delusion, he says he's going to let them stay in it. Right? And, this past year, what I've come to really understand is that it don't matter if you call on Yahuwah's name or not, you could still be in a delusion. I've learned in this season that don't trust everybody who says Yahuwah's name. I've learned that. I've learned that people in Yahuwah's name will do the same things that they've done in their past. They'll express hate. I've learned that they'll slander, they'll lie, they'll gossip. And so coming into the name, I've realized, means zero unless you're willing to apply that understanding where you're constantly asking Yahuwah for adjustments on who you are. That's one thing I made sure that I did. I examine my fruits all the time. And I just don't trust myself based on, past habits and stuff. Well, let me change that statement. I used to not trust myself. I trust myself now. And what I mean by trust myself is Yahuwah showed me that, like, anger and the emotions that we have, it's a spirit, period. So what I did was I started examining, like, a lot in my past, right? And hold on a second. I'm trying to see what this person's saying. Characterized by a decline in memory, thinking. I really don't understand. Brother, trust me, my observation says that you have a progressive syndrome. Not a specific one, but characterized by a decline in memory, thinking. Your behavior pattern is very unusual, crazy. See, like that right there. Like, random. Like, like, is he trying to insult me? You get what I'm saying? Like, how is it unusual? I'm not really talking to him. This is one of the examples I'm saying. Like, okay, for example, and this is no diss at him. I mean, here, there you go. There you go, buddy. Like, the thing that I can't understand is, our creator says no images and idols, things to that nature. And the first thing I'm seeing that like catches my attention is like Mario. That lets me know where a person's mind's at. Like here I am, I'm talking soft, I'm just chilling, I'm just kind of considering things. I'm kind of just, you know what I'm saying? And then let's do a random, let's do that to this person. I'm not sure what the goal was there, but I'm just gonna keep going. Hey, friend, can I give you some encouragement? If that was meant to insult, I'd really encourage you not to try that again. Like, just relax, chill, man. I come in peace. Like, the enemy is always trying to attack, and everybody thinks that they're doing the right thing. And that includes me. We all want to do the right thing. Like, even the lady from last night with the AI, she wants to do the right thing. I get that. One thing I cannot say is that um, she has passion. She cares. Let me put you on the tripod. Right? Oh, wait a minute. I get it. Okay, y'all see this? Check this out. Those are the same copy and paste. Right? Okay. That's a bot. That's a bot. So you got two different people with an automated message. You get it? Oh, and you got somebody, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Why does it feel like the profiles, like somebody's playing games? This could be targeting. Yeah, either way, we're going to keep going. So here's the thing. So I thought about the lady last night, and not just her, I thought about all of it. Period. You can't take passion away from anybody and actually caring. So I'll give her that. I'll give everybody that. But the thing that I see that most people in our, in the truth, they are so hungry for it, it becomes you overdo it. You don't know how to sit back and always examine yourself. And then when I was asking Yahuwah about the AI, Yahuwah just reminded me of all type of stuff. I remember in her comments, she said that, and I'm just going to paraphrase it. So if you haven't seen yesterday, this happened yesterday in the pop-up live. But she had said that she, I guess, asked ChatGPT for some code or something like that. And apparently ChatGPT gave her like a bunch of sixes, and that freaked her out. And she was saying something like, don't talk to AI, you're talking to the Nephilim. Yo, hold up. Let's examine that and let's broaden that picture. First off, that's your one experience. And we don't know that. We don't know what that looked like. We don't know if you misunderstood it. We don't know if it really happened. So we're just supposed to take your word for it. But either way, the part that catches my attention is www. That means 666. The internet is literally 666. So if the internet is 666 and you're using the internet to log into Facebook, ChatGPT giving you a code with a bunch of sixes in it freaks you out? Did that land? So those are the things that I see. And when you talk to a person with AI and you tell them these things, they tend to look over it. They don't want to deal with it. They don't want to face it head front. So you could tell the person all day long that they are that they are using social media that has AI embedded all in it. So a person is going to turn around and say, okay, I log on to Facebook. Boom. Once you hit log on, Meta AI is all over you, whether you realize it or not. Again, let me reintroduce myself. My name is Alon. I'm a retired marketer. I'm a social media coach. I'm known as the social media whisperer in my past when I did that business. And I help business owners train the algorithm like a pet. So this is like an area of expertise here. I'm not just talking. So when an expert says, hey, once you log on to one of the social media platforms, like, for example, you hop on YouTube, you got Google behind you in the background. You hop on Facebook or Instagram. TikTok has it. Okay, we're not just going to stick with social media platforms. I got more I want to add to this, but what strikes me, what catches my attention is you don't seem to know when you comment, you are legit like participating. So while you complain about the use of AI, you're using it to complain. And you tell these people this, and it's like it just falls, it just like hits their ear and it just falls to the floor. So it's like you're trying to call people out on using AI while still using AI. And then when someone shares something with you that is blatantly obvious, it's not like they're even hiding it anymore, right? You don't want to face it. You want to just ignore it. It's really odd. It's like you only care to be heard, but you don't want to hear. So that right there shows the fruit. Now, I don't say that in a mean way. Like the scriptures say, by their fruits you shall know them. Now, when I say that, when it comes to that situation, I'm not trying to say that in a hurtful way. What I'm saying is, let me see if I can explain what the fruit looks like in that scenario. Number one, you're clearly going on to social media and then you're using social media with AI in it. Now, let's talk about communication. So while you are, once you hit heart or like or laugh, you send a signal to that AI. That AI then, again, retired marketer. Okay, so you tell Meta in that moment, I'm interested in this. I'm not interested in this. I'm interested in that. I'm not interested in this. You're communicating. You're talking to the AI. You think just because you're not having a personal conversation that it's just, right? Let me see. Delete, ban user, and delete. See you later, Wall or whatever. I see you over there on YouTube. So, okay, so my marketing instinct is kicking in this moment. Here's what I'm catching. There's some bots targeting their account, and they're targeting we.theassembly, clearly. They're talking language that can hurt the profile. I think this is an actual attack. I'm not making this up. Think about it. The Kirk situation is a sensitive scenario. The algorithm's looking for that stuff. If people are talking about it in the comments when I'm not even talking about it, the algorithm, again, that's YouTube. Thank you, bots. This pulls right into exactly what I'm talking about. So you got clearly, this, Sean, I don't think this is many trolls. This is actually targeting. How do I know? Because this is how it works. I don't even have to be talking about the C. Kirk person. If they're in the comments having their own conversation, the algorithm can start assuming that and then start flagging the account. This is calculated. And this is a marketer. I see these things because I know these things. I know how it works. Those two people, the first person that showed up, copy and paste. I didn't realize it at first. Then the second one, same thing, seconds later, that's targeting. And then you got that Charlie Kirk. I think that's two of them. I missed one earlier. I just looked over it. But when I saw it a second time, I knew there's an issue. So right now, it lets me know. Right now, it lets me know that someone is trying to take the time to target the account. This is not a guess. This is me knowing my skill set. All right. Now, here's the thing that's catching my attention. Let's go back to let's forget all that. I'm not worried about that. I'll take care of that. But when you hop onto these social media platforms, you're automatically speaking to the AIs. So the fear that these AI people have is the voice, but they don't know, like, it's talking to you regardless. You're still communicating. So while you look at it as, oh, well, since I don't hear a voice, then it's okay, I can ignore it. But because we've been communicating with AI for a very long time. Tonight, I'm actually going to go live again, and we're going to study that part in detail. But I just felt like coming in the garden and chatting. So everything I'm going to talk about today, I'm going to go deeper later tonight. Don't hold me to that. I might do it tomorrow. But here's the thing. We are legit all doing witchcraft. Let me say that again. We are all doing witchcraft. Every single last one of us. Okay. If you feel like you're not using witchcraft in today's time, put in the comments, I'm not. And I dare you to do it. Now, keep in mind, I'm going to give you a little bit before I tell you how you are. You're literally doing it in real time, and you don't even know it. I'll just go ahead and tell you. Your cell phones. It's witchcraft. Mm-hmm. This is witchcraft. They normalized it. The cars, witchcraft. Makeup, witchcraft. Everything that we do is witchcraft. They've made us feel as it's not witchcraft. So that's the part that's funny to me. Well, maybe not funny. It's just, it catches my attention. The fact that we're so quick to assume that the things that we're already not doing is not already participating with stuff that we shouldn't be participating with. But we were forced into this, and they normalized it for us. They normalized it for our parents. They normalized it for our grandparents and generations and generations. And then when you pick up your phone, it doesn't look like witchcraft to you. It just looks like your day-to-day stuff that you're doing, right? So my thoughts is, if you're going to complain about AI, then what I feel like a person should always consider is this. Now, I'm not condoning this, so don't do this. Don't do this. But I'm just trying to make it make sense. If you're going to complain about AI the way people complain about AI, are you doing the same thing when you go to the store and you see a lady with makeup on? Are you knocking the phones out of people's hands while they make a regular phone call? Are you going to stop using the internet, or are you going to keep logging on to the internet? Let me make it. Are you going to keep logging on to 666 www dot and ignore that you're doing it? Then go on to the social media platforms where you have more AIs, but you're not doing anything wrong. No. But anybody who uses ChatGPT to I don't know, compare some scripture verses, or see if there are more scriptures on this particular subject that maybe you can consider opening up the book and checking out, then suddenly that person's the devil because they're using the devil. It's fascinating to me. it catches my attention. It's like you, those are the fruits. Those are the fruits. Like a person's not willing to take a moment, take a step back, take a breather, and say, okay, let me just examine everything. Let me make sure that I'm in alignment. Let me make sure that I'm not, you know, guilty. And it's funny, like the ad mans and I, we say this all the time. It makes no sense. You complain about this, but you're using it. And then it's funny because Frankie and Marilyn said it perfect. Frank, they'll be like, "Hey, you're using AI while you log into social media," and then they'll be like, "Yeah, but yeah, there's always a but. There's a fruit right there. Bang, fruit, right?" So we're quick to let me move this over here. We're quick to chastise people, right? But when it comes to our dropping the ball, it doesn't exist. And we want it so bad that we don't realize we're going backwards. And that's the enemy. The enemy wants to create discord. The enemy wants to disrupt. Truth be told, I mean, if I could be 100 with y'all, the admins know what I'm talking about, but and some of y'all may believe me, but for about a year, there have been some big demonic spirits come trying to stop me. I figured this out. Yahuwah's pointed it out, and they've tried multiple different angles. Now, look at yesterday. I don't see it as a coincidence. Okay, so for example, you guys know what a monitoring spirit is? Okay, so this is a monitoring spirit. This is what monitoring spirits do. Monitoring spirits will, you won't hear from a while, you know, and then out of nowhere, boom, there they are, and what they do is they come in soft. They come in soft. Here's what y'all don't know: the same lady that was giving me a problem last night. What y'all don't know is she was actually in my DMs days before. It was in the spam area. And when I looked, she was saying that she likes what I have to say, she left the community for a while because I guess these type of things. And it was a long novel. I didn't respond. My Ruach said something, and I'm glad I didn't respond, because I actually saw it. And the same person popped in hackling us last night. That's a monitoring spirit. It was a setup. The whole goal was to get the guard to drop down. Once the guard drops down, now they come in, then they disrupt things. She has a spirit on her. I'm sorry, I'm just going to call out what it is. And it's a very familiar spirit that's been trying to hit our community, trying to get our core quickly. And Yahuwah's just strengthened me up this season, and I could see these spirits move. I mean, we had one of them try to use a Trojan horse, and I'm not making this up. Like, they legit got on a vessel and then got in my home, and then I recognized it, and I'm like, yo. I recognized it later after I was getting attacked. I was getting spiritually attacked, and I was like, they're brilliant. These spirits, they don't let up. But it's obvious. So when I took another look at everything, I started really seeing things. Now, this is not a knock at her. I'm not trying to come at her like that. This is not about her. It's about the person, the type of person who's not willing to look inwardly and take a look at their own actions and ask, are you in alignment fully with scripture? Are you causing discord? Are you doing things that may be hindering? Are you stepping in Yahuwah's way? Like, I don't understand. Like, the only thing that I really want right now in this life, I just want peace. I don't want to be bothered by this extra stuff. I want peace. And I just want to serve my creator. I just want to, that's it. I'm not interested in nothing else. And these spirits aren't going to let you do it, right? And I want to be left alone. I'm a real private person. I don't really like all the closest people to me. They know how private I am. You may not believe it, but I'm extremely quiet in my personal time. I barely speak all day. The only time I really talk is when I come online with y'all. Most of the time I'm talking to Yahuwah in my head because I don't like speaking out loud. I learned that we talk too much. And because we talk too much, we open up doors and portals. We don't know how to close our mouths and just stay focused. I believe the book when the book says that, I believe the book when the book says that our mouth, the words, it's a weapon. I don't know how to say it. Scripture says that your words, your tongue, it can burn down forest. So let me move this over here. So if you can burn down forest with your mouth, you can lie on people, you can hurt somebody just by saying the wrong thing, whether you meant to do it or not. That'll shift the tides to open up doors and portals for these demonic spirits. Spiritual warfare has been completely like a focal point this season for me. I wanted to make sure that I was, I don't know. I realized that we don't protect ourselves. We will quote Ephesians like a slogan, but actual real participation, we're horrible at it. And we think we're doing good. We're not doing it at all. You guys hear me? I hope you can. I said that like I can see the comments from way over here. I'm assuming you can. If not, my bad. But I realized that we just speak so loosely. Our mouths, we can't stop. We're kind of trained to do so now. We can't stop ourselves. And then once I started realizing, like, wait a minute, the stuff that we say, it truly manifests. We just don't see it. It's so subtle. And when I started, when I stopped doing like all this talking out loud and started bringing my conversations inwardly and just talking to Yahuwah just like we're talking right now. I legit talk to Yahuwah just like this. And I do it all day. I don't stop. Like, I don't know if y'all were there that one day on the car ride day. We were in the car. I went live. And I was saying, like, I don't even close out my prayer, my palal, my prayer. Because it's not out of disrespect. It's because my conversation, my prayer never stops. It's like, why do I feel like I got to close it out with oh, this is the key to unlock and lock the door. But like, then I end up talking to my creator seconds later. It doesn't make sense to me. So I just keep talking to him. Like, I have people tell me, like, how come you don't palal before your studies or palal afterwards? Well, because the system has programmed us to feel like we got to do it that way. Why do you feel like I have to? But why do you don't? Why? Let me. Can I change that? The first thought is that lets me know that the person really has not spent time with our community enough to realize I'm plowing all through the study. I don't stop. Like I legit just, in the middle of the study, I'll stop and I'll just have a conversation with Yahuwah, like I always do by myself. I do it in front of y'all, and I'll do it 2, 3 times, at a time. So to me, I don't have to do a traditional sense of stuff. I don't like doing things the way the traditional church system does things. I like to do what I feel like Yahuwah's kind of calling me to do. Just be normal and just chill. I've grown to have that type of relationship with Yahuwah to where he knows I'm talking to him nonstop. I don't know if that makes any sense. So when I do the studies, I carry that on. I don't change it. So the church system does this traditional thing where we got to palal first for wisdom. No, I'm doing it nonstop. If y'all got to do it at the beginning, at the end of it, that's good for you. But I don't want to turn that conversation off. I want to keep that conversation rolling with you, if that makes any sense. That's just me. But, and by the way, I'm not knocking nobody who, feels like, you want to, I'm not knocking anybody who feels like you want to applaud, before, studies. Whether it be your study, you can applaud, before we get our studying going and the music is going, you can mute the music. You can applaud for the community, applaud for yourself and everybody else to be led by the Ruach and wisdom. You can do all that for us, right? Heard it. I guess it was a bumblebee. Y'all might have saw it, but I heard it. I was like, okay, where is that? I don't know. I'm interested if y'all saw that. I felt it on my back of my neck. But y'all, I don't know if y'all know this, but bumblebees don't sting. So if you ever see a bumblebee, you don't have to worry about it. Like legit, it won't sting you. You can be by 100 of them. I used to be in pest control. But anyways, squirrel. But going back to the original thing, they've normalized witchcraft for us. They've normalized. Tell the truth. I mean, I guess it's not going back to the same. It's going back to the subject. Our words are spells. That's why they call it spelling. Words are spells. That's why they call it spelling. So our words is even designed around witchcraft. They've normalized us with loose tongues, right? That's why we curse ourselves and we curse other people unintentionally. And the enemy knows this. And even we know it to a certain degree, but we can't seem to halt our tongues and stop. And when I was examining my own fruits, one of the things I really started paying attention to is my heart, because Yahuwah says that our heart is wicked. And if our heart is wicked, then I'm really curious about that. What does that look like is what I started asking Yahuwah. And I started looking at myself. And, I know that I'm a good guy. I also know that I've made mistakes in my past. And so I examined everything. I examined the mistakes I know that were mistakes. And then I also examined situations where I thought that, it was all good. Like, for example, you ever been like wronged by someone and you're right. They wronged you. They wronged you. All right. And you were angry. So they wronged you and you got mad. You yelled. Guess what that is? That's not Ruach. Regardless if they wronged you. The anger was the key. That was the thing to focus on. As soon as you realize you started getting upset, I started to realize if I get bothered by something, that means there's a Ruach around that's not Ruach. You could be right and that Ruach still use you, that bad Ruach. That's the thing that started to really catch my attention. I started looking at situations where people have wronged me and I felt some type of way about it. And when I thought about those, then I was thinking like, man, so if, according to scripture, Yahuwah is not, he's not saying about your situation being right or wrong. He's saying how you handling yourself in it. Are you staying within the Ruach? So for example, if person A and person B are in a argument and they got problems with each other, then the question is, say person A did person B wrong. Like legit, let's just say we know the scenario. Person A was wrong, person B was right, and they got into a big argument, right? And person B is livid. They're yelling, they're cussing, because they're standing up for what happened to them. Okay, when we look at it in regular like just us as people, we can see the right and wrong. But when you come to Yahuwah, Yahuwah not only sees the right and wrong, but he also sees how you handled yourself in that scenario. Did you give yourself over to the spirit of anger in that moment? Does that make sense? That's the stuff that I started to catch. So I started identifying, what am I giving myself up to? Sorry, y'all. Hope y'all don't mind being in the yard with me while I'm working. I'm sure Frankie probably going, I don't know if he in here, but Frankie will probably be like, oh, he about to cut the grass. He about to cut a lawn. That's Frankie. I know my op. Oh, I see you out in the yard. So you about to be doing you got to be cutting the grass in the lawn, the lawn. The lawnmower. I could totally see Frank doing that. Him, Soto, Shirley, Robin. I don't even know who's all here, but hold on a sec. What? Yeah. So I couldn't help but consider these things. So it made me start thinking about scenarios where I know that I was wronged, but I started thinking about the behavior of both. My bad, am I off? Yeah, y'all can see me, right? Let me do it right. Yeah. I started thinking about the behavior of both myself or another party in certain scenarios, and I couldn't help but think there was a spirit involved. There's no way. You can't get mad without the spirit of anger. You can't get angry without the spirit of anger being around. It's impossible. Does that make sense? Like the Ruach is not going to be angry. The Ruach is going to show patience. It's going to show resilience. It's going to show self-control. So if you get mad, that means those spirits are there to provoke. So if you've lost your temper, that's where I'm starting to really get strong at. I started paying attention to that. I started paying attention to my heart. If I'm starting to get bothered, then that means I'm being provoked to get there. So that lets me know there's a spirit in the room somewhere. That makes sense? So now I have to slow down and examine what's happening and not consider right or wrong, but consider the spiritual aspect of things. Once I started realizing our emotions are telling us, our heart level is telling us, hey, you're getting angry, or you're maybe feeling jealous. I'm just coming up with stuff now. Or so if you're feeling that way, it feels like a real emotion, but according to scripture, those are ruachs, and they're not good ruachs. So if you're experiencing that in that moment, then that's what's there in that moment. That makes sense. I mean, Paul, this making sense. I'm sure y'all know that like he ain't even paying attention. He just working and talking. That helped me a lot with spiritual warfare, and it also helped me identify what's going on with other people. Now, I don't say that so you can use that to throw that in people's faces. That would be a bad ruach. I say that because it's a useful tool to me. It calms me down faster because my full focus is to try to stay in ruach. You can stay in ruach. I notice you have less issues. If you don't stay in ruach, these issues come easier and more subtle than you actually realize. We don't even feel it's happening, but it's happening. And if you just believe the book over your emotions, so when the book says, that a person who is angry, this is the type of person they are, or this is what's going to happen to them because of their anger. So the question is, and the book does do that, y'all. The book legit says, I'm paraphrasing if that's all right. It talks like this: when a person's angry, these things will happen. I started seeing that, and I'm like, wait a minute, that makes sense. So the next question is, do I believe it? I do believe it. I had to look back at certain scenarios that I can remember in the past. And you start to identify those things, right? And you just be like, wait a minute, that does work like that. What? It just starts to really stand out. And thinking like this or examining fruits, whether it be mine or someone else's, it helped prepare me a little bit more while I'm dealing with people. Now, I know some of y'all might be like, bro, I didn't see you blew up on people. That's more so zeal, but I can also see, I won't deny it doesn't affect the emotions. And I'm not going to act like it couldn't be another ruach. That's the area I like to stay in. I like to stay in an area where if I was wrong, y'all done seen me get really animated online, and I just get in the moment. But we don't know. I mean, if I'm being honest, these AI critics, they don't bother me. I mean, if I had to put a word to it, the word annoying is a thing. So if I have to say the word annoying, that's another ruach. And they're relentlessly scared of AI instead of Yahuwah. That's the part that catches my attention. And you can't sell that to them. You can't encourage it to them. They have to see that themselves. They have to see that they have more fear of his creation rather than the creator. And while they're doing that, they miss the book. They're holding on to pieces of the book that match their narrative. But what's interesting is when you bring up other parts of of it, they don't consider it. They're locked in. The AI is the devil. That's the case. Here's what I challenge you to do. First off, take a look and see if the internet, www, means 666. If it means 666, then you have to consider once you log on, you're participating. Does AI the devil mean anything during that time frame? We watch AI critics just walk past that. It's fascinating. But that's part of the deception. That's a heart that won't see the full picture. But again, I can also give some props for they want to get it right. We can't take that from them. Hold on. We cannot take that from AI people, the fact that they care enough to at least be that passionate. We have to at least give them that. We feel the same way about us just trying to learn. They want the same thing as we do. That's the part that's really catching my attention. We all want the same thing. And when Yahuwah gets the wins, the next thing that catches my attention is you want to take it from them. You don't want to give them no leeway. You want to be right now. Like, y'all know what's crazy? I mean, just last night, we talked about how many people came into the profile. Y'all, how about I woke up, there's another like 400 people came into the community overnight. People are waking up fast. Within the 7 days, we're close to over 4,000 people now. In 7 days. I'm telling you, people are waking up. They're waking up, and they're waking up fast in this bracket of time frame. How long this is going to go, I don't know. I've been waiting for you to show your face again. Thank you. Good looking out. Ban user and delete. But it's just, they've normalized witchcraft. They normalize all the bad stuff. While we think that we're always doing right by Yahuwah, it's just fascinating to me. It just stands out. Well, let me find a spot out of the shade that I can set y'all. Let me get y'all in the corner right here. Yo, Frankie, you in here? Is Aki in here? Might need you to come like build like a little part in the fence for us, since you know how to build and stuff, Aki. I'm just playing, I'm just messing with you. But I don't know, Miss Paka. I just feel like it's interesting on how we are in a delusion to where they have normalized so much that is against our creator, but yet for some reason, somehow we spot debate on things. Like the AI part really catches my attention. It's the thing that stands out the most with me, because it's the most I'm pretty much online attacked with all the time. It's like I'm over here trying to serve our creator. I'm trying to do it respectfully. I use the system with responsibility. And I demonstrate it, and it's like that counts for nothing to some of these people. But yet you hop into a mechanical vehicle that you don't even see as witchcraft. I mean, but if you if you pulled up into any type of modern day car in front of Moses or Abraham, I think you're going to have a stoning problem. If you open up your phone and in front of, Joshua, Jacob, Isaac, you're going to have a stoning problem. If you pull out some earphones and say, hey, listen to this we the assembly music, Yahusha. Okay, that took a little far on that one. My point is, like, if you pull out some of these in that time frame, they're going to say witchcraft. But in today's time, this isn't witchcraft to these people. Okay, so now let's go to Daniel and Joseph. That's the part that catches my attention. We're so in tune with the book, we forget that we're supposed to learn from the book. Let me say that again. We're so in tune with the book that we forget that we're supposed to learn from the book. So Yahushua says to learn from the forefathers. Yahuwah says learn from the forefathers. The book is nonstop saying pay attention to the ancient, pay attention to the old, right? Learn from the old. The church decides, let's trick them and let's keep them New Testament bound in their mind. That way they never really truly see the fully picture. The book says to do not worship in vain. Well, how do we get them to worship in vain? Let's let them focus on the new covenant more than the old covenant, not with them not realizing that what they're truly doing is trying to get a reward from the end part of the book before understanding the story of the beginning part of the book. Did that land? That's a me. What do I get out of this? Well, and what does that sound like? That sounds like this. That sounds like when Christianity says that, JC died on a cross for my sins, right? So therefore you can just go ahead and play around, do the things. It's okay, because I've already got my meal ticket, right? So forget the beginning part. We'll just focus on the end part. That's a deception. That's a deception. They got us all backwards on everything. It's fascinating to me on how we don't see the witchcraft all around us, but it's there. And then I don't know. I mean, if I could just plain speak, and I'm gonna do this without emotion, I'm just gonna say it because it makes sense to me. Like, if you complain about AI and the way you treat people online, I'm gonna say at least how I'm treated online when it comes to AI. Now, I don't want you to do this because I don't think it's right. I don't like being treated the way I'm treated by AI online, so don't go do this in the public. But the question is, are you staying consistent? So when you're out and about and you see a woman with makeup on, that's witchcraft, that's sorcery, that's from the fallen angels. AI, the lady yesterday said that was the Nephilim. So you're in the same ballpark area. So when you walk by somebody in the bank or in the store, are you hackling them like y'all hackle us while we're trying to learn with makeup? When that person's just walking by you, not even bothering you, are you slapping the phone out of the air and saying, hey, that's witchcraft? Are you doing these things? Of course not. It's the same stuff. We're in captivity. Daniel and Joseph are perfect examples on how we should understand what captivity should look like. We can still be in Yahuwah. We can still focus on him. We don't indulge like the rest of the world. We drop the things that we know for a fact. We can drop that, right? And what's crazy is, I'm not going to speak for Yahuwah, but I don't see Yahuwah turning around and saying, okay, if one person doesn't want to learn with AI and learn this extra information or whatever that may be, I don't see Yahuwah giving any of us any problems. I just feel like people who are against AI quietly just leave us alone who are. I mean, examine like is Yahuwah being esteemed? Is Yahuwah the part that catches my attention is we stay within book. We stay in alignment to scripture. And if I wasn't using AI and still hit those same points, those people would have no issues. So the outcome's the same. The outcome's the same. But AI gives us the ability to cover more ground faster. So while if I manually did something and say I was working on a particular topic, I might find like 15 scriptures that I can, possibly share with the community. But then add AI into it. Now I just went from, 15 to like 45. Now I have more witnesses now. I have more things to share with the Mishpaka. There's more backup verses to say, hey, look, that's the thing that catches my attention. They have a problem with that. So that speed, what are you afraid of? Is the thing that I can't help but think. Like, it's like you're really legit more afraid of Yahuwah's creation more than Yahuwah, and you don't even see it as Yahuwah's creation. You see it as man's creation, and you sideline don't want to even say that out loud. So if you have to actually face that Yahuwah is controlling the whole board, and you can tell that he's controlling the whole board. Why? Because he's telling us in the book how everything's going down. You know? Do you participate in a church, or are you just no? We don't do church anymore here. Church has been lying to us. This is we don't do church. This right? We do community. So we love on each other here. There are some people that they've met up. Like shout out to Robin. I think Robin's met a good amount of people. Well, I would say a handful of Mishpaka. They actually link up. Some people do. But so far as meeting with the church, we're finding more knowledge together this way. We're getting information together faster. So no more churches for us. The church is a sham. The church is part of the enemy. Now, I'm not saying now if it's a church just talking about Yahuwah, I ain't talking about them. And I'm sure there are some. I haven't really looked for any. I've stayed focused on here. I'm just not interested in trying to find the physical spaces anymore. I've grown to realize that this is part of that set apart, and we're just getting more information, studying together. But we've learned more in our own scripture studies than these church systems. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that goes to another thing. Did you know there's a lot going on in the church, this witchcraft that people don't even pay attention to? They don't even realize it. Like communion, that's witchcraft. That's a made up thing. We've all done it. We didn't realize what we were doing. This pretty much the church does more witchcraft than what they think. The church has taught us to do, I think what it's called. Look up this. It's called I might be wrong. I'm not trying to be a professional here, but I just kind of ran across a little bit of it. I thought it was a little interesting. But I didn't go super deep on it. So I think it's like white witchcraft or something like that. And no, we're not talking about like black or white in color. I don't know what white witchcraft means, but it was something like that. And to my nature, and the best way I can explain it to you is it's like they're teaching you witchcraft without realizing you're doing it. And so what you're doing is you're doing something repetitive as you think it's just something normal, but you're actually participating in seances and chants. And they've dressed it up with a Christian vibe, and they've used Yahuwah's word to do that in the church system. Can you see how many people are going to fall because of this deception? It's sad on how many people are going to be deceived because they never took the time to hear it out. And I don't know if this gives comfort to anybody, but Yahuwah says in the end, he's going to take our memories away. And I look at that as mercy. I look at it as okay, I don't know if you're hearing me right. Let me move this one more time. So when everything's finally done, and he says, what? There's no more pain. I got to be careful because I know one of these pots right here had ants in it. So I got when all is done, he's going to take our memories from us so we won't have to remember, which makes sense. He says there's going to be no more pain. I'm just going to paraphrase it. There's going to be no more pain, no more issues for us. We'll have peace. We can finally breathe. You know what I mean? Okay, so erasing our memory so we don't have to remember this lifetime is grace. That right there, some people may look at that as, no, I want to remember, whoever I love, but that defeats the purpose. He's protecting you from that because your family member or your loved ones didn't see him like you did. He doesn't want you remember that. It's time to move on. They chose their path. So to me, that gives me comfort. I don't know about you, but it makes me feel as if, whatever happens in the end, first off, it reminds me that my bad, y'all. My finger hit the button and it kicked me out. But it shows that I cannot control people. I can't make people whom I love hear or believe this. They have to do it on their own. This is an individual walk. The only thing we could do is share. I've grown numb to people I care about who just want to reject it, Like I had a really good friend of mine reach out to me yesterday, as a matter of fact. And this is a really good friend of mine, like good dude, very good dude. I'm in Palal, he watches this, he'll know I'm talking about him. But he knows that I call on Yahuwah and he calls on JC. And he openly admits he don't open up the book. He admits it. He's not lying. He's not shy from saying, on the real, I see you open up the book. I'm not opening up the book. I'm not doing the things that you're doing. And I say I believe in JC. So he's not saying I'm wrong. He's just saying he's stuck with that's where he's at. He was being honest. That's what he's grown to know. But the part that catches my attention, I don't think he's hearing. He's not even participating on what he says he believes. So if you say you believe in JC, you're not even participating in that. But you see me going deep in this book. You see me going hard in the paint. So when I point these things out, you're still not encouraged to look at it. You can't force this on somebody. They gotta want. So they gotta want it, if that makes any sense. And I mean, he's a good dude, man. He's had my back in the past when I didn't have anybody. Um, in multiple different ways. He gave me a place to lay my head. Um, when when I when I didn't even have enough to eat, yo, if he ate, I ate. And during that time frame, it was also if I smoked, he smoked. He was one of those type friends. But I said was, but he's a really good dude, and I'm in Palal. Well, he catches it. But what I do love is he didn't reject what I was saying. He was just simply saying, I'm just not there yet. And you can't force that on somebody. They have to be there when, it is time for them. And that's Yahuwah's time frame for them to see. But what I'm banking on is that when it is time, or if it is time for him or anyone else to see it, that they know where they can get the information in. They know that, like, okay, this is what Elon was talking about. And this is landing with me. Maybe it's not Elon to get this attention. Maybe it's another person. Or maybe, just like the book says, maybe it's tribulation that gets the attention. So, but either way, my friend will know that, like, not only does he have a homeboy that will take the time, but his homeboy has like a whole profile full of information, so he can catch up quick. You feel me? That's another thing that I'm really excited about, what we're doing here. No matter what happens in the future, this content is available to anybody at any time. So even if like I had no breath left in me, I know that Yahuwah can use all these videos when when I'm not here. That means somebody else can get the information. Um, and I just look at that period. I see I see Yahuwah just working, and I'm seeing us blind. I see a lot of us waking up, and I'm really, it's the new person. Like, my bad, I feel like someone got on my neck. The new person, protecting them from all this is like really important. They're fragile. You know the feeling. When you first wake up, it's almost like everything you knew is out the window, right? Your whole life just like crumbles in understanding. It's almost like what is true anymore. You feel me? So that new person's so fragile in that moment that, like an AI person, that's the part is dangerous. Like that. Try to get out of the sun. Come chill over here for a minute. Let me take this off this tripod. Take my gloves off. Kick it with y'all for a minute now. The new person is fragile. Um, the information. I just remember when I started waking up, I didn't know what to do. I felt so confused. I didn't even know what to say. I remember my son. I felt like I was talking in circles, and I felt like I was the only one that understood what I was saying. And I remember my son looking at me with so much concern in his eyes, and he was like, "Dad," my son is so real. He said, "Dad, I don't even know how to talk to you right now." And when he said that, I stopped. I was like, "Man," it's like I was like, "What is happening to me right now?" Take that new person, and they find like we the assembly, and then you got an AI person coming in and talk about AI as the devil. That AI person's already working in fear, whether they see it, admit it, notice it. I don't know. Not my concern. That's for them to see. But then they can pass that right to that new person. They're showing the new person to revere the creation over the creator, and not realizing they're showing the new person that, hey, you're keeping the new person walking on eggshells. When you come into the truth, it's almost like you're walking on eggshells and you don't really know what to do with it. And and so what are they doing? They're adding more fear on top of that. And it's like you 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 don't even realize that you're doing it to these people. Does that make sense? Um, it really stands out to me, and really feeling like the things that I have to do for this community is protect the new person. Protect the new person until they turn into a Karen Davis, where they're stronger and they understand. You ain't gotta you ain't gotta hold the hand on all those things. And they turn into a Frankie, they turn into a Catherine, they turn into a Jane, they turn into a Adam Soto, they turn into a Phelps family. Um, Nurture them until they get that strength, get that confidence. What up, Sean Lewis? But like they have to get that strength, and then that's the thing that catches my attention. That's why I get so passionate um, on our profile a lot, because especially when someone comes in interrupting our live and our study, like, we're not trying to bother you. Can you let us just do us?
and I don't know, it just stands out to me. Just stands out to me. But going back to normalizing witchcraft, everything we're doing. Did you know that the word star in Hebrew means angel and demon? Angel and demon, not or demon. It's tied to the flood and the fallen angels. But yet, what do? They've got stars on. They got stars on everything. Oh, I should have turned it around sooner. Something was saying, "Show, show." Let's see if we could see. There was a big, there was a big bird. It looked like it caught something. It like something caught its attention and it was going after it. I saw it drop down right there somewhere. It didn't fly that way. It shot straight down. I don't see it, but it looked like you know how like one of those big birds, they like see some prey. Looked like it was locked onto something. The way it dropped, it was almost like it went flying to hunt, and it dropped right next to the tree line. It went straight down. It's over there somewhere. I just can't see it. I don't want to mess with it. Let nature do its thing. But yeah, Miss Baka. That's the part that I Yahuwah put it in my ruach to be responsible for um protecting the new mishpaka that come in, the ones that are waking up to this, and all this is fresh to them, you know? And and honestly, mishpaka, if I'd rather be the person that I don't know if this makes any sense. Okay, so I know it's probably gonna sound crazy, but just try to listen past what I'm saying, okay? Okay, what's your take on Islamic faith? I'm gonna put it this. Let me answer all your questions. If it ain't Yahuwah, not my concern. I don't have no if it ain't Yahuwah, it's other deities. Anything outside that, not my concern. Period. I want book, I want Yahuwah, I want the truth, I want to be left alone, I want peace, I want to help wake up new mishpaka. That's me. I don't know how to answer that other than that. But if 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 a person feels like someone's going to be led astray from the we the assembly direction, I'd rather it be on my shoulders, not on theirs. Let me be wrong, but don't come over here um, expressing what you're expressing. And if it don't align up, because if I'm seeing book a certain way and I'm seeing Yahuwah telling me something different, then it means you participating in it. I'd rather Yahuwah just deal with me. Why? Because I already know that Yahuwah's put it in my heart to humble myself to stay in correction mode, and I just wait for him to show. My mama, baby girl, I'm just letting you know I'm live. She running. As soon she was about to walk over here with comfort, she about to start talking. Once I said I was live, she was like, "Whoa, let me back up." She turned around quick. But yeah, I'd rather it be put on my shoulders because um Yahuwah showed me how to listen. So if I'm seeing something a certain way, and then later on he shows me differently, I've already got it in my ruach. If it's there, I'm not challenging him. I'm just going to ask more qualifying questions, and I don't mind sitting in it. if that makes any sense. So I know my heart is willing to make the adjustments, and I know that some people in our community don't see that, and I know some of y'all do. Um, but that's my way of saying, let me protect you from yourself if you wrong. Like, you come to We the Assembly and you are expressing authority, you trying to say, AI is this and AI is that, or it's moon cycle this or moon cycle that, or it's this, that, and the other. It makes you're putting yourself in a position to, baby girl, Jacques says shalom, baby girl. She said, I just happened to see Jacques do that. But um I'd rather it be put on my shoulders because I know that I'm willing to correct. And I'm watching other people correct myself, and I'm watching other people that they feel like it's easy for them, but I see a lot of pride in our community. Not like the way the assembly in its particular. I'm talking about just the Yahuwah community, period. You know, like Yahuwah says that at one point we're going to come together. So I'm holding on to that, and it makes you wonder, like, Yahuwah, can you please give us a hint on how? And I think part of it's going to be tribulation. At one point we're gonna stop the bickering, and we really got to ask for some real help. Y'all notice when I said that, y'all felt that wind pick up. I don't miss nothing like that. Like, once I said that, I felt like that wind just went a little harder. Like, Yahuwah has taught me to pay attention to the wind, pay attention to the withered leaves, pay attention to the birds, insects, the worms. His nature, man. You learn so much when you come outside. You learn so much just by nature. And, like, let me show y'all something. This is a cherry tree. Okay. Now, this tree, um, it was it was looking kind of dead. It was looking kind of like old and tired. And if you look at the ground, my mom and I, we've been I don't know how to say this. I don't know how to say it other than say it like this. Um, we were setting this up to plant, like, stuff around it. But I think what's happening is this tree, because I've been really taking care of this tree. I've been really focusing on it. And what's crazy is, you see all this green? This happened in a week. And I started seeing little small sprouts, right? And certain areas of this tree feels like it's like dying. But then when there was no leaves at all, I saw little small buds pop up. Then something in me said to start plowing over this tree. So I would come out every single day, and I would just touch it and talk to it, and I would plow to Yahuwah to let it bear fruit again. Look, you see how it's like cracked right here? It's all dry. It was worse. Look, I don't know if I can't see if I'm showing y'all right, but that's healthy right there. I'm starting to find little small stuff, and I'm like, yo, this thing is growing back out, man. Barak Yahuwah. So I just plow on it every single day, and I keep giving it. My mom makes this fermented rice like stuff. It's like a liquid, and I've been dumping on all around this thing for months, and so I've been plowing over that tree. And let me show you this over here. This is a blueberry tree. I love this tree. See little bumblebees. Bumblebees don't stink. I don't know if y'all can see it, but this is our blueberry tree. So um, I'm starting to take care of that too a little bit more. I'm trying to give it all the little nutrients. But this one right here is our blackberry. Blackberry. Now I don't know if you see. I'm not sure if I'm angling it right, but these leaves weren't here the other week. But I started feeding it some of that stuff that my mom's been giving. My mom's like, she puts it out. She knows I just do. I can place it anywhere I want. So that's what I do. I place it anywhere I want. And I decided I'm going to start um, feeding it to those trees. So the blackberry tree got today's fermented. I just call it. My mom says it's like rice water or something. And we got I think this is an apple tree. So this one's going to get tomorrow. And then I can't remember if this is a peach or this is the peach. One of them is a this tree right here. I think it's a lemon tree or a lime tree. I think that's either apple or peach, or that's the apple tree. This is the peach or plum. I don't know what it is. I forget. It hadn't bore fruit yet, and I can't remember what mom said it was. So all the trees I've decided that I'm gonna nurture them. I'm gonna feed them personally. I'm gonna pull all over them, excuse me, and I'm gonna talk to them, and I'm gonna ask Yahuwah just to bear fruit from them. Not for really for food. I just want to see. Well, food is perfect, right? But I want to see them bring life. You know, they're if they're bearing fruit, that means they're healthy. You know, and that cherry tree, man, like that's my little personal project right over there. Um, I'm really in Palal for cherries to pop on it. Be honest, I'm not even into cherries like that. So even if it starts growing some cherries, I might eat some, but I don't think I'd be like all over it. It's not that big of a deal. I just want to help bring it back to life. Now that blueberry tree and that blackberry tree, I think there's also raspberry in there too. But oh, Thomas said, "Great, guess what? We got that too." My mom planted it back here. It's crazy because um, like right now, you see that starting to sprout. I don't know if y'all can see them. Now, here's the crazy part. My mom has a green thumb. I'm telling you, we got it from my ancestors. She got it from my ancestors. I'm just learning from her. I think it just comes natural to her. But I ain't never seen nobody with a green thumb like her. Like I done watched her do stuff that I can't explain. Like it's like inner. Let me show y'all another tree. When I first got here, there was a tree that was almost dead. When I tell you almost dead, she called me over. She said, "Come here, I want to show you something." And I came over there and she goes, "You see this tree? It had hardly no life left." She's just glancing at it. She goes, "I see some life in this." She goes, "We're gonna save this tree." And when I tell you, she completely saved this tree. This thing was a snub. This right here was extremely small, had no type of life, and she took a glance. She's just looking at it, feeling it around. She knew it had a little bit left, so that's what she banked on, and she doubled down on it. And look at that thing; it's crazy. Um, that's why I like any type of like, if there's like gardens, whatever. If she says there's nothing we could do, I know she means it. But if she says that we can bring it to life, I'm like, what we got to do? Just tell me what you need me to do. I'll do it. She gonna bring it back to life. She's got it in her. Two little birds playing. Miss Paka, I gotta get back to work. So I can get this garden done, so I can get back to preparing for the next scripture study. So I just want to come on and chat for a little bit. Um, for anybody watching this with AI, I'm not trying to come at you. I hope you see a very peaceful, relaxed tone. I'm not. I'm just it's some of the stuff that I'm seeing AI people is just don't make any sense. And I'm seeing that they've normalized witchcraft so much to where like we overlook all the other stuff that we're doing in Babylon that's witchcraft related. And but you want to pick on this one section is what I'm catching. It's like, do you put the same amount of energy into um person wearing makeup to like hopefully you're not harassing people while they out, like hopefully you're not harassing people like you harass like us in the lives. But I mean, are you feeling the same way about makeup to AI? Are you feeling the same way about driving your car? That's witchcraft, whether you want to believe it or not, to AI. Are you feeling the same way about using your phone, which is witchcraft, to compared to AI? And then logging on to the internet, it makes no sense. You logging on to look into www. The W means six, so technically www means 666. Like, come on, man. We acting like we don't see this stuff. So as you log on to the internet and then you hop on to social media, you acting like you not participating in Babylonian technology, which is witchcraft, and they normalized it. But yet, AI scares you. Make it make sense. If you're gonna stay one direction, if you're gonna treat one thing some way, man, hit it all then. If you're gonna be aggressive with AI, I'm not telling you to go be aggressive, but I'm just saying make it make sense. You, you know, you can't turn around and, ignore this while you do that. It's very hypocritical, and I'm trying to say that with love. So if we just focus on just what can we do to serve Yahuwah, what's my assignment? Maybe we the assembly, maybe their assignment is to use AI. And if you're not vibing with it, I respect that. I'm not I'm not begging people to come over here. I'm just trying to share. I don't care. I'm not doing this for notarization. I don't know. What do you call it? I'm not doing this for popularity. I didn't want to do this. I felt like Yahuwah pushed me into it. It was never my intention to do any of this. Um, so if I could do this quietly, I would have. Um, I mean, take a look at the profile. I legit could have kept my face off of everything, and no one could have known who I was. Honestly, they started finding out who I was because of JY's a long time ago. JY's kept tagging my personal profile, and everybody kept finding it. Love you, Ott. But yeah, JY's outs my personal life. If you look at the profile, notice it's a logo. It's always been a logo. It's never been my face. Like that's actually it's an actual. I started this profile um, with the intention of it being what they call a featured account. Another now this is my marketing. I'm teaching you something. A featured account has um, um, no particular face in front, but the content speaks to a specific subject. That's what I was doing. And another term for it in marketing is called a meme account, but I didn't like the word meme because to me that sounds playful, and I'm not trying to play with the words. So, but then my face started being shown, and we started doing scripture studies. But Yahuwah was actually pushing me to do that. Let me not put that on Jay. Yahuwah put it in my ruach to start doing that. Um, um, yeah, Miss Parker. That's all. I just wanted to chat about this. I was gonna go on later tonight. I'm not sure yet. I think I might actually work on some stuff, prepare for Shabbat, which is Saturday, and then there's some other content I was wanting to work on. But I don't know, man. It's just really fascinating to me. That's all. On how we're so stuck in one mindset sometimes, and but hey, if Yahuwah wanted you to see it, he'll unlock it, right? I don't know. I do know. I do know. Yes. So if a person's just blind to it, the person's just blind to it, and that can go both ways for anybody, by the way. None of us need to be closed off to correction. Say that because I definitely have been corrected by Yahuwah. Yeah, rock Yahuwah. All right, y'all. Let me finish picking all these weeds um, before it gets dark. Oh, there go another big bird. They hunting. Y'all, pay attention to the birds. I'm telling you, man, these birds, man, they so impressive. They working together in teams. Oh, see, once I said that, boom, they see they already work. Nah, y'all ain't gonna be able to see. It's just too far out. So if there's two, there's usually a pack, and they're spread out. I don't know. I don't know. It's just interesting on watching them hunt. There's like a family of blackbirds out here, and they're getting bigger. And I was watching the birds the other day. The smaller birds knew that they were out looking. You can tell that they were making sure they stayed camouflaged and stayed low. They didn't want to be seen by them. It's like you there's a whole nother world going on. Think about this ecosystem. We have a rabbit family that lives under our little shed, right? Okay, so everything is like designed to take care of itself. We, society, we screw it up. Like for example, okay, so what do the birds eat? The birds eat the bugs and insects, right? They eat those type of things. So what does that help with? That keeps the bugs from overtaking and growing too quickly, right? So without the birds and other animals like birds that eat insects, if they weren't there to control that part of the ecosystem, then all these bugs would just be quadruple timed over, and it'll overwhelm us. Okay, then you got the bird scenarios. You got the bigger bird preys that take care of the other ones, and it's designed to keep itself in rotation, to keep what humanity at the lead. He gave us the ability to be over all of them, and that's part of the process. And when you go down to the bug levels eat other little small bugs. Spiders eat roaches. You see how this all works? Birds will eat spiders and roaches. You see, it's designed to keep itself under control. But then us as humanity, we come in and we start tampering around with it in multiple different ways. And then we mess up ecosystems like that. Yahuwah, he made this place perfect for a fallen state. Balance. Catherine said, Yahuwah created balance. That's right, sis. And we just look over it. We don't even see it. All right, well, let me get back to this garden. Miss Paka, I appreciate y'all. I'm in Palal that y'all got some value. Y'all already know. Shalom.